Hey man, listen up. So I'm here again, and I wanted to talk about something I feel that is very important and vital in becoming a person of influence, right? And one of the things for 8 things of becoming of influence, I feel that the world and y'all guys should know is like it's very vital and imperative, right? So here's the thing. I'm gonna get straight into it. 8 things or 8 ways to become a person of influence and change the world and make impact. Number one, position. You got to be a person that's in position. Dr. Miles Monroe, he was talking about a story, and he said that he pulled up on a plane in Chicago, and Oprah Winfrey pulled up on a plane right beside him. Now, are these any regular planes? No, these are private jets. You know what I'm saying? And with private runways and where people are not going unless you an A-list celebrity, somebody with millions or at least hundreds of thousands at the minimum. But I really doubt hundreds of thousands. But anyway, so he said he pulled up and he hopped out the plane. She hopped out the plane. She looked at him. He looked at her. She smiled. He smiled back. Okay. She walked up to him. She said, "What's your name?" He said, "What's your name?" Now, pause. I'm sure they both know exactly who each other were, but it's the fact of keeping that power and being in a particular position. You don't want to seem too needy or seem like a fan. You don't want to do that. You got to. It don't matter who. It don't matter if you standing next to Jay-Z. You got to. Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? I'm Reno. You know what I'm saying? You Jay-Z, but I'm Reno. You got to know. You got to know your purpose. You got to know who you are. Right? So they both asked each other who they were. She said, "I'm Oprah." He said, "I'm Dr. Miles Monroe." He said, "I like your show." She said, "I like your books." Now, he would have never been able to speak to Oprah Winfrey if he wasn't in position, you know what I'm saying, to speak to her. So guys, you got to put yourself in position. You have to keep yourself in a successful and a good position. Point blank period. Position is number one. 2, power. A lot of people say, you know what I'm saying, knowledge is power. I say knowledge is potential power. However, knowledge applied is power. However, power. It don't even matter if it's knowledge or whatever the case may be. However, you can attain or acquire knowledge or acquire power. That's gonna make you a person of influence. You never fight. Here's the thing, man. When you on the interstate, all right, check it out. You on the interstate, you see a semi truck, all right. So you see a semi truck and you in a 2005 or 2012 Volkswagen Jetta. You gonna respect that semi truck. Why? Cause it got power. That you not finna respect. You not finna disrespect that semi truck. You got to be a person of power. Whether you use your mind, you know what I'm saying. Whether you use your body, whether you use any skill set. Keep power. It's gonna make you a person of influence. All right. 3, like I just said, knowledge. Knowledge is potential power, but knowledge applied is power. You can know all the things in the world. You can be the wisest man in the world. But if you don't know how to use that knowledge, if you're not applying that knowledge, then you're just a person who's just smart as hell. You gotta know exactly how to utilize your knowledge. Okay? Number 4, expertise. You got to have expertise, guys. Look, when you got expertise, people will come to you just because you know. What do you know? Anything that they don't. That's what they come to you. When you go to the doctor, you're not going to the doctor just because you like to see their pretty face. Nah, you going to the doctor because you say, all right, look, bro, I know y'all know something that I don't know. I got a cold, I got the flu. Hope you don't got COVID-19. I'm just saying, you go to the doctor just because you know what's good. You know that they're going to help you. You know that they have expertise that you don't have. You know that they're expert at a particular subject that you're not. So expertise, experience, that's another thing. You got to have certain experiences. People tend to trust people who've been through certain things versus the person who haven't been not through anything. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been through nothing. You ain't got no type of experience, no anything. People gonna trust your experience. So for instance, I have a bachelor's degree in audio production. And I was able to be apprentice or, like intern or whatever for guys like Keith Sweat. I was boom operator for the behind the scenes photo shoot. I've interned for guys like Tyler Perry as a production assistant. So people will be more prone, to trust me in that particular field. Not only that, I have 2 books and I'm working on my 3rd. That's experience. Why would somebody pay you to write their book, or why would somebody pay you for expertise, on a book or whatever the case may be, if you don't have no experience in that particular industry or in that particular field? So with that being said, you got to have experience in whatever you're doing, guys. You got to know exactly what you're doing. You got to know who you're doing it for. You got to know your targeted audience, and that experience is gonna speak for itself. Okay, another thing, survival of character. People will take a word for somebody who has survival of character. What do I mean by survival of character? So if you know somebody, and this happened to a lot of millionaires, but they lost their house, they lost their car, lost their wife or lost their husband, you know what I'm saying? Lost it all, whatever. But that character that they maintain and through adversity and confliction, it allowed them to keep moving. It allowed them to keep pushing. People are more prone to trust that character. Why? Because they've been through the rain, the pain, the fire, you know what I'm saying? And they still standing. So they gonna trust that survival of character. If you got through all this, you know what I'm saying, you got hit by a bus, you got hit by taxis or whatever, and you still standing, okay, got you. I know I can trust you because your character stands tall. Cool. So you got to have survival of character. You know what I'm saying? That's the 6th thing. Okay. Number 7, dedication to your purpose. You got to be dedicated to whatever you're doing. Stay dedicated to whatever you're pursuing. Dedication to purpose defines who you are. When you on your purpose, when you dedicated to it, can't nobody tell you anything. You in your gift. You in your calling. You doing the thing that you love the most. You doing the thing that makes you happy. You doing the thing that you serving the world. Think of it as being a chef. You cooking food and you serving your guests. That's the same way when you serve, when you are in your purpose. You know what I'm saying? That is how you know that you're dedicated to your purpose. You got to always be dedicated to your purpose. And number 8, man, wealth. You know what I'm saying? You got different types of wealth. You can be wealthy. You can have a wealthy social circle. You can be wealthy in the mind. Like I always say, keep a rich mentality. You can be wealthy, with possessions. You can be wealthy in spirituality. You can be wealthy. You can be wealthy with money. You can be wealth is not just only money. In fact, that's rich. Wealth is a different way of thinking. But it was a story in Ecclesiastes that Solomon spoke on. The richest man who ever lived. He was a king. And he said that there was a man, who lived in, I think, Gideon. And it was a king. And this king, two different individuals. So the king is a regular old man. A regular old man with wisdom, and the king with a whole bunch of money and corruption. Okay, so this king with money and corruption, he just started destroying and disintegrating the area, right? And as he was destroying and disintegrating the area, there was this wise older man. This wise older man, he had wisdom, and this came from the words of Solomon. He had wisdom to change the world, to change that particular city, but nobody would listen to him because he had no wealth. What am I saying? To become a person of influence, guys, people are gonna listen to a person who got money. People are gonna listen to a person who's wealthy. They're more prone to listen to somebody who they want to listen to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean somebody, not just anybody, but somebody. And that's what you got to understand. So 8 things of becoming a person of influence: position, power, knowledge, expertise, experience, survival of character, dedication to purpose, and wealth. Keep that in mind, y'all. And like I said, this is the hub of wealthy minds. So keep a rich mentality. Rheno Music LLC. Also, remember to get my book off of Amazon, Rich Mentality, and also Fairly Unequal. So they're both on Amazon, Rich Mentality and Fairly Unequal. I also have a clothing line, as you see, Rich Mentality and Fairly Unequal book is on there. So whichever floats your boat, it don't matter whether you got your Amazon points, coins, money on there, and you want Amazon Prime, you want it right there. You can get the book from you can get Fairly Unequal and Rich Mentality from Amazon, or you can get Rich Mentality from Amazon and get Fairly Unequal from my website, which is richmentalityattire.com. Again, richmentalityattire.com, and also all the links will be underneath this video. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. This is the hub of wealthy minds, so keep a rich mentality.